What up? So I've been kind of wanting to make this video for a while now. I've had a horrible and chaotic experience with my Jeep purchase. So what happened was, as all you know, I have an extremely done up Jeep that's completely modded out. Um, so the story is, I'm trying to think of where to begin. So the dealership in question is Titanium Auto. Titanium Auto Group. They had a Jeep and a lot of the stuff was already modified, and they also had ordered me in some aftermarket parts to put on the Jeep, to customize it. And when I purchased it, I specifically asked about the warranty, and I was told that the warranty on the Jeep, it covers basically everything, even the aftermarket parts, whatever parts they put on, whatever. And I ordered some extra stuff to throw on it, and basically they told me straight up, the warranty covers all, except the winch. If the winch goes, you contact the winch company, and they'll deal with it. Everything else, the drivetrain, basically everything on the Jeep, the warranty is supposed to be covered. And lo and behold, I had an issue with my Jeep, and I brought it in. And basically what they told me was the salesperson, some motherfucker named Ben, and another motherfucker named Will, they basically lied to me about the whole situation, about the warranty, and the whole thing was basically a lie. Like, they don't cover any of the aftermarket parts. They only cover the whatever the stock parts that came on the Jeep was. And my Jeep is so fucking done up that there is no more stock parts for the Jeep on it. Like, everything is completely modified. And the whole point of me purchasing this Jeep was because the warranty was so attractive. When before I bought it, I straight up asked them, this thing is so fucking done up, shit's gonna hit the fan and go wrong at some point. I expect it to, that's 37-inch tires, and the rims, 6-inch lift. That's a massive fucking lift. And they told me straight up that don't worry about it. They got me. They'll cover everything. Like, specifically what this guy named Ben, when I figure out his last name, I'll post it up here. But this guy named Ben, his sentence was, and I quote, "If the engine blows up, we will replace it for you." And he told me, basically everything is on the up and up, and the aftermarket parts are all covered, except for the winch, which I mentioned earlier. And lo and behold, Will or Ben is not working there anymore. So when I went there, I think it was a sensor issue with my Jeep. There's a button where you press to unlock the axles for the front and the rear, and the sensor wasn't working, so it kept trying to lock the axles or whatever, and the dashboard light kept coming on. So I brought it in. Mind you, this isn't the first time I brought my Jeep in to get something fixed. I've had some other minor issues, and when I brought it in, they said, it's under warranty, they covered it. So the first 2 or 3 times I was fine. This time it was quite an expensive fix, and that's when they told me that the warranty does not cover it. So I'm like, whoa, wait a second, you guys told me that basically everything is covered, even the aftermarket parts. And I don't even think this was an aftermarket part that they were trying to repair. So yeah, none of my aftermarket parts are actually covered under warranty, which is the whole point of purchasing it. The other issue, sorry about that, just stop the video for a second. So yeah, the other issue that I've had is the deductible. So basically when you get a warranty, you can there's a few different options you have when you buy a warranty. You can pay less. Like for example, like when I was at Range Rover, like their warranty was like, if you pay like a $5,000 warranty, they'll cover the stuff, but then when you each time you bring it in, it's gonna cost you like a $500 deductible. This is from Range Rover. It's gonna vary from company to company, brand to brand of different cars. Range Rover just happens to be a very expensive car to fix, so with a $5,000 warranty, each time you bring it in, you're gonna have to pay a deductible of $500, and the $500 will cover it, whatever they have to fix, whatever the fuck goes wrong. Or the other option is, if you don't want the deductible, like you don't want to keep bringing it in, 500 here, 500 there, it's gonna add up. You can pay $10,000, and so it's $5,000 more. So you can pay $10,000, but each time you bring it in, there's no deductible, and there's no cap to the cost of the repair. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. This method is good if your car, I guess, breaks often, and you don't want to keep paying the $500 each time. Then you'll pay, $10,000, be done with it, and whatever. And if something happens, you just bring it in, they fix it. With the other option, if you pay $5,000, this is good if it doesn't break often. Like if you only have to bring it like 1 or 2 times, that's $1,000 right there. But so the total would have been $6,000. So $4,000 goes back in your pocket. But with a Range Rover, shit's gonna go wrong. Like there's no two ways about it as it ages. Anyways, I'm rambling on about Range Rover. So for this Jeep, the warranty that Ben, the motherfucker, sold me is $4,000, and I was told that there is no deductible. For $4,000, and you bring it in, something goes wrong, there is a cap. The cap was, I believe, $5,000, and then there's a deductible of $150. So the scenario is, if something goes wrong, you bring it in. If it's under $5,000 for the fix, it's free. If it's over $5,000, then I'll have to pay $150 for the deductible, and then they'll fix the rest. So that was a complete lie, complete bullshit, because when I brought the Jeep in and, they didn't want to fix my Jeep, we brought up the warranty papers and all that stuff, and they told me that there's always a $150 deductible. Each time you bring it in, you're paying $150, no wiggle room there. And then with the $150, they cap it at $5,000. So if it runs over $5,000, I'm responsible for the rest of it. I think it was $5,000. It might have been $4,000. I don't fucking remember. But anyways, so the numbers are similar, except the process is different. As in, Ben and Will, they told me $4,000 warranty, cap at $5,000, bring it in and fix it for free. But if it runs over $5,000, I pay the $150. Whereas the actual warranty, the way that it's supposed to work, which I was not told, was bring in the car, pay $150 for the deductible. They'll fix it, and if it runs over $4,000 or $5,000, I'm responsible for the rest of it. So that's completely different, completely different than what Will and Ben has sold me previously. So yeah, this experience has been horrific for me. If somebody's wearing the dealership shirt or the badge, in which case this is Titanium Auto Group in Langley. Fuck those motherfuckers. They're scammers. Well, at least Will and Ben are. The service department that I worked with there, Matt, he was great. He didn't have anything to do with this. He was perfect. So yeah, the service department was completely fine. I don't fault anybody else other than the salesperson there. Although, like I mentioned earlier, if if you're a sales rep for that company, I don't expect that if I ask you a question straight up, I don't expect I'm gonna have to ask like 2 or 3 different people from your company saying, yo, is that legit? Is this true? If I'm dealing with you as a salesperson, like, I expect you to not lie to me. If you don't know, then say you don't fucking know. Don't tell me like, everything is covered, when in reality, none of the aftermarket parts are covered. I bought several cars after this. I bought something at Hare Motors, and, there was issues with the car, and they said they would fix it. But the smart thing I did at that time was I had recorded, and I recorded what they said. And, I have it on video, audio. I suggest this to everybody. Like, if you're buying an expensive car, or if you're just buying a car, period, record it on camera, on video, so that you can reference it later. Because I bought the Chrysler 300, there was issues. They said they would fix it. They told me to bring it to Chrysler, and they'll fix it, and they'll foot the bill. They'll pay for it. I bill it to them, and lo and behold, they wanted to opt out on that. They wanted me to pay half of the price because it was in the thousands. So I'm just like, no, fuck you, motherfucker. I have you on video. I play on the video of them saying, they pay for everything. And they were like, okay then, and they paid for it, so that was all good. But again, that only happened because I had them on video. So I suggest everybody to do that. Needless to say, this Jeep incident has left a very sour taste in my mouth. So yeah, don't buy anything from Titanium Auto. Like, if this is not a scam, then I don't really know what is. If you're buying a car and someone tells you something and then it's not that, I understand looking back, I should have been more clear about I should have had it on paper, but had it written out in a more specific format than how it was. Because we did have it on paper, but it was just a big mumble jumble. I'm sure you guys know, when you guys buy a vehicle, you're gonna have like 50 fucking pages of shit to read over. It's difficult. So the warranty and deductible was on there, but the steps of how, and the process of how the deductible works, the cap and all that, was explained to me by Ben and Will, which they lied. So the numbers were accurate, but how they process it and which step goes first was the issue. Because the step is deductible first, and then they repair, and then the cap. Whereas what they told me was, bring it in, it's the cap, and then they'll see if it caps off at that amount. If it runs over that, then you pay the deductible. So it's very tricky stuff. And if I have any updates, I'll let y'all know. And I wanted to make this video so that everybody else will know. I just want to help other people to not get fucked over by a used car salesman. I buy lots of cars, and this is the first time this issue has arisen. I've bought warranties before, and there was all good. It was, usually it's all gravy. This time, like, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck happened here. Lesson learned. Anyways, like my videos, subscribe to my channel. Peace.